Hello and welcome back for another episode of Gregtech 6. Last episode I show you my alloy smelter for making bronze and iron one at a time. And this episode I'm gonna continue. Now as you can see behind me, this is the new one. This one make steel. It's the same principle as before, but because I have to use this face here to have the connect engine insert power on it to become air and actually make the alloy itself, the steel, I had to move the detector to when the crucible is empty to the other side. Kind of, but not really. I just have to actually attach the sensor to the one that makes it go into the mold here. As you can see, the iron is here, and when it sends the signal this close to the shutdown temperature, we're gonna send another one here, where gonna be a kind of delay here and trigger the dumping of metal again. So this is gonna be making my steel now. And this is probably the last automation I'm gonna make for alloy for a good amount of time. Stainless steel is still a bit far away, and this is barely making it. But I am a little worried because this is going to increase the calcification. Maybe at some point the engine will not have enough steam to inject enough air before become rogue iron. But that's something that we're gonna fix very soon, because since we're gonna have a certain amount of steel coming on top, I can make a dryer. A dryer is very simple actually. I can already make it. With this we'll be able to make water into distilled water directly. So you're gonna with no calcification, things gonna work more smoothly. And together with that, I want to make something very important that's gonna help me a lot. That is this low heat extruder. It is very expensive, costs a lot of metal and a diamond dust. But with this, we'll be able to use the low pressure, the low heating extruder shapes to make the shapes of stuff like we do with the molds. But the difference is because we'll be able to actually use them to make it better. Like I can go here, let me find it. It's all into the end, isn't it? Not the foils. Foils is just the plastic, but like rings and rods and bolts, gears, small gears, bottles. I'll be able to actually do it directly without having to actually use the crucible. So I can have copper, and bronze directly, so I don't need to actually use the crucible to make those little shapes that is complicated. I can use it to make it more easily and accessible and leave the crucible to be only the automation of the production. And I can even change this to be like ingots instead of the plates or everything. But of course, its shape is too steel. So if I want to actually come here and exchange all of this here for extruder shapes, it's going to cost me a lot of steel. But it make everything is so much more easier. So what do you think? And yes, this is making still using magnetite and charcoal dust. This is making iron, go to rogue iron, and barely make it to steel. Yeah, it seems my fear was confirmed. Now it is making rogue iron instead of making steel. So probably the engine is not putting enough air inside. So I have two options: wait for it to cool down and decalcify it, or place another boiler to make more steam so the engine is gonna be full time. But I still don't know if he. Now it made steel. Yeah, it's not getting air fast enough. But I still don't know if this setup here is actually effective. Do each still require its own amount of air, or one air goes for the all? That's a big question. That's a big question. But I don't have the answer for it right now. It's a still yet. Was it a simple mistake? Should I increase the temperature a little bit more? This close to be? I don't know. Seems dangerous. Let's see if we're gonna turn it off or not. But I still think it is pretty fast to the system. It's already turned into iron. Then yeah, it barely goes, so maybe I should just diminish like this. $25. Let's see how much I'm gonna have later on. Well, I run out of fuel for the solid boiling box. And it did continue to produce a lot of steel plates. And see that some rogue iron as well. All because this got out of fuel before. So it is a huge success. Now I have a production of steel and rogue iron. And I like that even after so long I still try to count the material needed to make the machines, because it's not like the tooltip says how much steel is going to make a dryer, like here it's 11 and the extruder is 29. So everything is there, I just need to actually see them. Those are the 4 machines of steel that will be interesting to build. The dryer to make distilled water so my boilers don't get calcified. Low heat extruders because it will allow me to make rings and other stuff of material that's not iron more easily. Then a roasting oven to even process some materials, some dusties, and an oven that is to simply cook my material using the boiling box instead of the vanilla furnace. And I probably have material for everything. So first let's make this low heat. Make the extruder and the dryer. Gonna require some bricks, some steel, some copper, and diamond. So you come with me, and you as well. Let's go. Either quickly or not, I'll be using you later. Let's need to make the saw blades. I believe it was like that. No, other way. Ring, hammer, file, wrench. That reminds me that my wrench is about to break. I need to actually do it properly. And as I pass, I'm gonna start to move all my tools to make this steel, because it lasts more than bronze. Maybe 2 of this bow saw blade, because later on one go for the extruder and the other one for the buzz saw, and in the future the electric version. Okay, now let's step is to make it the robust. Oh, that's true. I'm going to need those. I forgot. And gears, of course. Well, back to the crucible. Twist your gears. This one is making some long steel rods for me. Let's take the chance and make it a hammer. 6 pieces. And I managed to get in and knocking long rods. It still makes some rogue iron, probably because this is so classified that it is making it. But I'm gonna require it for other stuff, so it's not a big, deeper problem. And I make a hammer of steel. Now this is gonna last a bit longer than my granite one. Yeah, I need to get those platings. Those platings. Now comes the sad part, the diamond. Place it here, break it normal. Place it again, break it. Well, I must expect to break the angle. Let's make another one. This is probably one of the last anvils I'm gonna make. I want to take too long to make the machine to properly. Place again, we break it. This again. Diamond dust. Robust machine casing. Diamond dust here. Basalt. Steel gears. Plates and wrench. And here we go, low heat extruder. We did it. Now I have to actually have a burning box for it. Of steel, of course. Plates, bricks, and double copper plate. Ta-da! Why copper? Aha! Now we have this here. Let's put it down here. You go on top here. And you are kind of ready. Just need to shape. Just this thingy here into a double steel plate. And the first one I'm gonna make is make the tiny piles, the tiny pipes, because I really want to use this around my base here, mostly to move around water. Because I could do it before, but as you see, it uses a covered plate to make it by hand, and with the semi-covered plate making by hand, I can make it a normal one or a tiny one. So I would be losing half of the copper or material. But if I make it then into the extruder, it's not going to be a problem anymore. Let's make the shapes. Now to this, I require to make a covered plating, that is a cut into this position. Oh, I can already make a covered plate like this. So that it will get through. Now the next step is to cut it into the other corner. So here we go. Now for the test. Let's grab some copper if I have it. Copper around here somewhere. I'm gonna use this one here. I think I can actually recycle it. Though it's too heavy, some charcoal would be. Now let's put this here. Put the shape of the pipe. And this here. And fire up. And here you go. Everything is on the floor. And now Kanate actually still here. It don't go. Everything is better. I'll be able to do covered plates of copper and bronze and some stuff here into this extruder. So this is going to save me some of the crafting into the crucible. Very, very good. Let's one make the dryer. Pipe and copper. For this I still have to use the anvil. I need this to make the pipe. Here it is. 3 covered plates to make a steel pipe. Close the oven, so we're going to require more. And it broke my hammer. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's make the casings. Now what I need to do for the dryer is another. Oh my, so many double copper plates. Let's make everything at once. You're being very used lately. Enjoy while you can. Just this, and then it it's this, and I forgot the wrench hammer. And we got ourselves a dryer. Now a roasting oven. That's almost the same thing, but require more pipes. And now we got both of it. And I realized that I don't actually need the steel burning box. It requires 32 to work at the normal speed, but it can receive 60, and the bronze burning box is 24, so it is actually okay to use it. And it is a little bit more fuel efficient. So this was kind of a waste. Oh well, that happens. And we can actually go all the way here. Place it. Let's place it here for now. Dryer. Output. Input. Liquids from the back. Now I can connect it here. It receives water. I give it a little feel. Just to work a bit. Now I can make distilled water for our boilers and everything else. So yeah, now we can get rid of the calcification of the boilers and everything else. Just need a place to actually store all that water. And by the way, the roasting oven is to be used with some dust like this tetrahedrite. Until now I could smelt it into copper chunk. But if I place it to the roaster with some air, it can become this amount of copper that I believe is the same amount as this one here, but it's not 100%, and I'm gonna gain a chance of getting some antimony and hematite, and I'm gonna have this thing to be dealt off. But that's going to be for another time. That's going to work into making that wood wall, so I can actually make a wood tank to store my liquids, like this little water, so I can make a huge supply of it and stop it for a time. And also, as I said before, a place to store the creosote, because it is getting troublesome to stop every time, because I have to make it treated wood to be able to continue making charcoal. I have some fluid burning box that I could use actually, but... And as you can see, we have a lot, and I mean a lot of chests here. So maybe it's time for me to start doing some wood item barrels. We have the ship version that can hold 5,000, and the normal that can hold 10,000. Just wood and long rods. This will require treated wood, but creosote is not a problem. So It has been a very long episode. Too much actually. But we made progress. So this is On God. Thank you so much for watching.